People say they hear babies crying and they hear kids playing outside. Welcome to Athletic Definition NBA's Ghost Stories, episode 150. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the most haunted places, hotels in the United States, the Skirvin, located in Oklahoma, OKC, and for being a haunted time of year, and that's why I'm doing it. I love fitness and I also love the holidays. So I'm going to do my best to bring you at least 4 episodes that has to do with mystery, spookiness, paranormal, and fitness for the next month. This started this started fairly recent for being a haunted story. This started back when the Seattle Supersonics ended their season and the Oklahoma City Thunder had their first inaugural season back in 2008, 2009. By 2010, the rumor started within the NBA that the hotel where the players are forced to stay because they get that room paid for and they have larger beds than other hotels. It's come to the point where other players who have heard of this hotel don't want to stay there and rather pay for their own room. But if they choose to stay there, there's a story about Effie. And Effie, this hotel is basically over 100 years old. I think it was established in 1911. It's 14 stories. And the owner of the hotel had an affair, according to all the different articles from the New York Times to the BBC and NBA.com. And he was embarrassed and he didn't want anybody to find out. So what he did is he locked up Effie and the child in a room for I don't know how long until she basically went crazy. And then she threw herself and the baby out. And since then, a bunch of people who stay there, even though this is a luxurious hotel, and even when it was opened, that was the intention of it. It was one of the first to have air conditioning in Oklahoma City, and I think electricity and a couple of other things. And since then, basically, people say they hear babies crying and they hear kids playing outside, even though there was only one child, and that they also see a bunch of men have claimed that they see a naked woman when they're taking a shower or a figure of a naked woman. They've also say that they feel a woman like within the bed, a presence of a woman's body within the bed. And it goes on from there. According to different articles, I guess she liked to get around, and that's why the owner was even more embarrassed of her, that he had a child with her. And some of the rumors have included, I'm going to pull up a little bit of the articles here. It is basically in 2010, it seems to have originated the New York Knicks. They blamed the Oklahoma City Thunder's haunting for them losing the playoff games. The Chicago Bulls reported door slamming of strange sounds outside the rooms. And the story received national attention back in June 2012 when the Miami Heat stayed in the hotel during the NBA Finals. And more recently, Baylor ladies were also defending their national college championship and were put up in the Skirvin, one of the biggest upsets in the tournament. A bunch of people say they can't sleep right. There's just something weird about that hotel. We're talking about some of the biggest just people, not just normal people, but athletes, and not just normal athletes. You guys don't really follow basketball, or if you do, just for example, Ron Meta Artest, and he has one of the more funnier stories. He weighs 260 pounds roughly, and he's 6'7". Ed Curry, who's a 7 foot, 295 pound center for the New York Knicks at the time, he was really scared, so he took off and he spent most of his time with Nate Robinson, who's 5'9", 180. And even that's still considered pretty big. And Tim Duncan even commented on this, and he says he believes I have his quote of what he said exactly, and he's 6'11", 250 pounds. So we're talking about some of the larger men, and although athletes are known to be superstitious, it's interesting that a lot of them don't even want to stay there. Let me see if I could pull up their quotes real quick. So this is by Karan Butler. He says, everyone knows about Effie. Hopefully she'll haunt all the teams that come for the playoffs. And that's when he actually played for OKC. This is from Wesley Johnson from the Clippers at the time. I went to sleep and woke up the next morning. I remember that I left my bathroom door open, but I got up and it was closed. This is from, Ron Artest. Ron Artest, he says that the ghosts were all over him and he just accepted that they touched him all over the place. And he said he's going to take the ghost to court for touching him in all the wrong places. I read the whole article on NBA.com and I'll put it all on the show notes in case you want to take a look at it. That one was pretty funny because he said he was watching a really good movie and that's why he didn't bother to leave and he just accepted it, which I think it's even funnier. Kyrie Irving he said there was bed bug bites all over him and he couldn't even play in one game. And also another former Laker at the time reported it. Kyrie Irving has liked it so much. I believe he started his own production film telling the story of the haunting and the paranormal activity in this hotel. I think he started it in 2019. So I'm not quite sure if he's still done or how far along it is. And if you want to know, let's see, I'm pulling up that article. Yeah. So, yeah. The movie he was watching, in case you want to know, was Money Monster. This is an older article. I really don't even remember that movie. It says Gardnick Young stayed here as well, sleeping on towels to cover bed sheets and blankets on the bed because he was infected by bed bugs. And this is supposed to be a luxury hotel. I'm not quite sure if I believe all this, if it's just rumors or not, but it is that time of year. I wouldn't want to stay here more because of the bed bugs than the actual ghost. They've done research to see if this is an actual story, but they can't confirm that any employee actually worked in the hotel by Effie. But also at the time, who knows what type of records they kept. The hotel did close for a little bit, so I'm not sure if it was the original owner or the second owner. The manager there got killed, and they're not quite sure if he got killed or he committed suicide, and the employees there and everybody didn't really contribute enough for people to figure out what's going on. And then the owner, after being in a lawsuit with his family for 5 years, ended up getting a hit and run, and that's how he died. So there's rumors about his death as well. And then you just can't confirm if Effie is real or not. So I hope you enjoyed this NBA Ghost Stories. Next week, I will be talking about the mysteries of the national parks. And there's a lot of mysteries from the disappearance and no tracking of people when they go hiking to the relationship where I found the same author talking about possible UFOs and aliens, and the fact that almost all the national parks have some sort of devil in it, either Devil's Bowl, Devil's Punch Bowl, Devil's Lair. And so I'll be getting into that. The last thing I wanted to mention is that I will be starting my own virtual Halloween 5K. So if you're interested, you could click on the website, Athletic Definition, and go to the emails, or I have more details. I'll provide them to you. I have already in mind what I want to do. And basically, I'm going to have a free option because my whole goal is to get people to be active. And then I'll have a paid version. That won't be till next year. But if you want to just go on the list, and once I have the information, I will get back to you with the Halloween 5K. Thank you, everybody, for joining. This is Coach Ray Z, Athletic Definition, episode 150. Till next time, have a great one.